I met Cody Rhodes, so Cody was the only VIP that I paid for, of course. I mean, there was others that I would have loved to meet. Like I would have loved to meet Drew or Rhea or Becky, Seth, whatever, but it was $200 a pop. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick like one, and plus like some of the others were during times that we were gonna be somewhere else. So it didn't make sense. So I bought the VIP add-on for Cody, which was on Thursday. And that was cool because he did a panel before, so he was like right, I don't know, right next door basically, at the stage, and was just like answering questions and stuff like that. So that was cool. And then I got in line to meet him, which was fine. And then the part that was just miserable was the staff. Like, it was a VIP add-on where you got a picture. So it was like a photo op, and you're like, okay, cool. And every time I've ever done a VIP in the past, they rush you, but they weren't like on your back or screaming at you. And they allowed you to get more than 2 words out. And that just wasn't the case this time. So, like, it was a standing photo, which was nice because in the past they've been sitting at tables and like it's such an awkward photo. So I
It
appreciate
is.
that.
Yeah.
They had a professional take the photo, which was also nice. So you were able to get the 8x10 immediately. They printed them immediately, and then you also got a digital download code. So that was also nice. Um, the problem was that I went up to meet Cody, which was very nice because he said, "Hi, sweetheart," and he just gave me a
Oh,
hug. And then,
sweetheart.
of course,
That's so nice.
I had to ruin the moment by stepping on his friggin' foot.
You were
And
so mad.
I was
You
so
were
mad at
so upset yourself.
because
I
I'm
felt
like,
bad. I felt
because
bad.
because it's like, of course I would. You know what I mean? Like, of course I would. And it's not even like that big of a deal. He literally didn't care. It was like while I was hugging him, I was still on his foot. Like that was what. And so I apologized. I was like, oh, like as I'm hugging him, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm stepping on your foot. And he was like, oh, like it's not a big deal, whatever. And so we go and take a photo. And I had made a collage, like I printed an 8x10 of like every time that I had met him, which also included a picture with Brandy and when we were on TV at SmackDown when he was dashing Cody Rhodes, my friend and I had signs that said dashing Cody Rhodes. And that was the night that he pointed to us. I think it was like in 2010. And so I really wanted to show him that. And he had just said at the panel, like he called out this one girl who's known for being like a big Cody fan. And he was saying, you know, like there's not that many really big Cody fans that have been fans of mine for years and years. She's one of them, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, this is the perfect time for me to be like, hey, I exist too, you
Yeah,
know,
there's
like,
more of us.
yeah. And so I wanted to show him that. And so I had the photo. And as I'm holding it, before I even go up to him, the staff is yelling at me and telling me no autographs. You can't ask him to get an autograph. I'm like, I'm not asking him to get an autograph. Like, I just want to
I'm
show him
showing him
this.
a picture. Showing him a
And
picture.
so we, you know, I go in, I step on his foot, we hug, we take the picture, and then I'm like trying to show him the photo. I was like, I just wanted to show you this. And before I could even say anything else, the staffer that is supposed to be handing you an autographed photo of Cody, which is also something that came with your VIP, which is this one right here. Um,
It's a
she's
good
yelling at
photo.
me to hand that. Then they're yelling at me to give me back my bags and stuff. Then they're yelling at me to move off. Like I could tell that Cody kind of felt bad about it because he didn't really get to say anything back to me either. He was just like, "Oh, thank you for sticking around" or whatever. And I just was immediately whisked off the stage. And so it was just really disappointing because you know, it's not just um I love how the curve like why do you never believe me that I met him? Like I literally can show you the picture in 2 seconds, but okay. Um I was just kind of disappointed because like I had you know, thought about what I wanted to say to him and like what was I going to say because I hadn't met him since 2013. So I was just
Yeah.
really bummed that I couldn't have gone in and been like, "Hey, I've been, you know, a big fan since Legacy,
Yeah,
met
you couldn't say
you."
that.
Yeah, like the first time I
That
met you was in
sucks.
2010. You know, I haven't met you for 10 and a half years. Like I just wanted to express to him
I've
like,
grown up,
yeah,
like, I
like
grew up with you, yeah.
yeah, and like that I always believed that he could be in this position and that I couldn't wait to see like what happened at WrestleMania. I wasn't able to say any of that to him and so that really bummed me out. So the main thing other than like being disappointed too was like obviously Cody was nice. There's nothing I can't say anything bad about him. The fact that he like initiated a hug, I didn't have to do it. The fact that he was so kind to everybody, like had to stand there and watch him meet a ton of other people before me. And I stuck around afterwards because The Rock was supposed to be showing up, which we'll get to in a second.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
That was
I was just disappointed with how the Fanatics people handled this for their first year as like the main people doing this, because like I don't know how they were for other VIPs. I think Cody was first, so this might have just been like they were going super hardcore and being really strict because it was their first one. But the fact that for VIP we paid nearly 300. It was like $300 to be
for it all.
there, coupled with the GA ticket that you had to buy. I deserve to have more than 3 seconds
I
with
know.
the person that I paid to see. So that is what really bothered me, because I know that if Cody had any say, he would have allowed everybody to have the moment that they wanted with him. And
Yeah.
so it's just like, I hope that that's something that they fix in the future, because it's just not fair.
Mhm.
That we were so rushed. And like I said, I've met bigger stars, and I'm saying like at that time, I met bald Randy Orton. Okay. I met John
Yeah,
Cena in
like
2011, 2012, 2013. Like
yeah.
they were more legendary than Cody at that time, right? And I never had this experience ever at this. And it's because it's different people. It's Fanatics now. So I'm like, you
It's
guys
not
really
WWE
need
people.
to fix this, because it's not okay. It's like, and it wasn't just me that was rushed or yelled at. It was so many people.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just that's my rant. But shout out to Cody, because of course he was more than incredible. So I'm just hoping that at one point I can like express like how grateful I am to him, and like he really is the reason why I got back into watching WWE.
It was
So
actually dead ass.
yeah, and that's like not a lie at all.
No,
Um
we were doing the fantasy football show, and then Cody I was like, "Oh," or we talked about Cody Rhodes come back, and you're like, "I might
mhm.
start watching again." I loved him, and then boom.
Yeah, and so it's like I just wish that I could say that to him, but maybe at another point in time in the future I'll be able to.
Well,
But
when he comes on the show eventually, and we get to meet him and have the time that we want, we can tell him that basically he's the reason for this show to be on the air. So, I mean,
well, and
like
yeah,
technically, if you want to
he's
speak technicality.
and it's just like when it comes to certain wrestlers, like I love John Cena, and the one of the things with John Cena is like I was there when he debuted, and that was when I was like, oh, I kind of like this guy, as his stuff continued. And it's like I've been a lifelong fan of John Cena. It's the same thing with Cody Rhodes. Like
Yeah.
Legacy and like leading up to Legacy, like it's been what, 15 years, 16 years. So it's like they mean a lot to me, especially with my
Mhm.
wrestling fandom. So it's like I want to be able to express these things to them. Like I know it doesn't matter necessarily in the big scheme of things. They're going to forget about me in an hour, but like it does mean a lot to be able to express and express your thanks to them,
Mhm.
because even though they don't know you exist, it's like they mean a lot to you, and they're like so involved in your life. So
Exactly, yeah.
yeah,
I get
so it's
that.
like one day maybe I'll be able to say it to Cody, but at least I've got to see him after, like I said, 10 and a half years. So